Hey guys.
Hey guys.
We're a little late to our own party today.
That we are. Thank you for tuning in to Sales and Movement here, episode number 4, new and review.
Yeah, so welcome to the SMS show. We're always excited to have you guys here. My name is Dr. Melissa Chofi. I'm a physical therapist, and this is my partner, Stephen Orifice. We have a couple of sponsors that we wanted to introduce before we get started with the show. The first one is New Beginnings Window and Door, for whom Stephen works, and they're awesome. Everybody here is great. Begin each day with a beautiful view. The next sponsor is Orifice Baseball and Softball LLC, where the best athletes come to train.
That's right.
We also have New Quest Physical Therapy, where we excel at forging fearless females.
Wow, so you had the stepping to that. All right.
Vaginas!
And we've been going since 5:30 in the morning, so
Yes.
we're on fumes here. I'll do the last 3, Melissa.
Okay.
Save you some voice. Wappingers Falls Rotary Club. Together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and ourselves. Iron City Physical Therapy is Melissa's friend. We help active adults and athletes maximize their performance and return to the workouts and activities that they love without painkillers, injections, or surgery.
Yeah.
That's a great one. And last but not least, but a great crew over there, Minuteman Press, Wappingers Falls, Amanda Hines, and Joy McGroarty. We design, print, and promote you. So I love that tagline. So they teach all of us, keep it short and sweet, for sure.
Yeah, and they're awesome over there. Good turnaround time. So just to give you guys an idea about what New and Review is all about, the last show of the month, we're going to be doing this. And basically what we're going to do is take 2 topics in current events that are business, health, and wellness related, and we're just going to talk about them. What happened and what our take is on them. Yeah,
really important. So I think we're all watching the news lately. We like to get the big headlines in business and sports, and on your side of the house too, with physical therapy. So health and wellness is a huge topic. So I think this is a good recap of what we're going to do at the end of the month. Last week of the month, we'll do a new one review, and then we'll go over our examples and experiences.
Yeah, so as you guys are seeing stuff come out in the news, if you want to shoot us a DM or an email on what you want to hear about spoken on the last show of the month, just shoot us a message and let us know.
Yeah, it's salesandmovement@gmail.com. And we have our Facebook page up. So if you guys want to comment during our show, we have it open, especially the Facebook Live. You can comment or email us, PM us on Facebook. Melissa and I are watching. That's why we move to the night, the evening. We give people a chance to tune in after they get settled in after dinner, or you get home from work. Maybe the kids start calming down late at night, and you guys can tune in and watch the SMS show. So. And
let us know what you guys think about the times too, right?
Like we're testing it out. We want to cater to you guys, so we're trying the 7:30, 7:45 time slot. We can go earlier, we can go later. We can change the day. We want to cater to everybody else. We got away from the Monday, got a little bit too crazy, I think, right? First thing in the morning.
A lot of people couldn't make it, and it just got insane. So
we're going Wednesday nights after our Master Network meeting, so we're still fired up. We got our energy still, somehow, some way. That's why we're doing this.
And I've been dealing with Steven since 3 p.m.
3 o'clock, so I had to deal with this psycho. So...
All right, so do you want to start us off with the first topic?
Yeah, so my topic, Wall Street Journal today, big topic that came out, younger workers feel lonely at the office. So we're going to go into that in detail shortly, but I think it's a big topic to the millennial generation.
Yeah, I was actually surprised when you told me that article.
I gave her some good stats today at 3 o'clock, so we're devoted to this show, just so you know. And what do you...
I'm talking about burnout. So whether you're an employee or an employer, so what burnout entails and how you can avoid that on both fronts.
Oof, I think we've all been there and done that, so I'm excited to get into that as well.
Yeah.
So clock is ticking. So younger workers feel lonely at the office. We'll start with my topic, right?
Yeah.
So millennials, Gen Z, anywhere from the age of 23 to 37. Gen Z is 18 to 22, and millennials 23 to 37.
Okay.
So that's how it breaks down. A big stat that I pulled today, Wall Street Journal, which I check every day, more than 80% of employed members of Gen Z, many of whom are just entering the workforce, and 69% of employed millennials are lonely. So that's a pretty interesting stat. That's off of a survey of more than 10,400 people, and including 6,000 workers in the U.S. from health insurer Cigna Corporation. So I thought that was a pretty wide gen survey with a lot of people. It's not just 2,000 people. You're talking almost 11,000 people.
That's crazy.
So I thought that was a very interesting stat.
Did it go by industry type, or it was just?
They didn't do industry type. They just did 6,000 workers and 10,400 people. So it's pretty wide generation population. You know, it would have been nice if they broke it down in the categories, but I'll take a stat when you hear a stat.
Especially one that significant.
No doubt about that. And the other thing was, for many younger workers, a day at the office comes with a sense of emptiness and the need to hide their true selves. According to the data, more than 60% of both Gen Z respondents, 18 to 22, and millennials, 23 to 37, have a close friend at work. Yet, they find their jobs less meaningful and feel more friction between their values and those of their companies compared with older workers, the survey found.
That's crazy.
So I found that super interesting because I can relate to both of those things, which I think is super important, and things that I went through in my career and things that match up from a value standpoint from the companies that I work for. It just didn't match up for me.
Yeah.
You know, honestly. So I don't know.
And when you realized that, did you realize that while you were still employed, or was it after you decided to find something that matched your value system?
Me personally, it was while I was employed. You know,
Okay.
a lot of people don't have the guts to get up and maybe find a job that they do match. You know, it does develop over time, I think, too. But you get that gut feeling, you know, and it's nothing against the company or the individual, but it's just your values just don't match up. You know, you the way you go into work and what corporates may be trying to pitch, or you know, whatever the big umbrella is that you're working for, it may not match up. You know what I mean? And it may be more quota goals, it may be less on the customer, it may be no support, it may be, you know, there's a million things that it could be, you know? And for me, that's a big piece. I gotta wanna be here in order to succeed at my job. And the higher ups and the umbrella that I work for, I wanna have the same values and same goals, and it's like being an athlete, I refer to. So you're all trying to win the championship. So you want your boss, you want your coworkers, everybody striving for the same thing. If there's multiple values, which is okay, but that's when things, right? You can go veer left, veer right.
I feel though in corporate, multiple values is not okay, because the corporate culture everybody should be on the same page. Like, you're all working for the same company and the same cause. Everybody's values should align with that. If everybody's all over the place, you're gonna have dissent in the ranks. You know what I mean? And people aren't gonna stay.
The marketing schemes that you're bringing, the operations procedures that maybe you put into place. If it doesn't affect sales in corporate situations that I've been, it doesn't matter. And they literally kick you out and give you the door. You know,
I was in sales for 2 whole months.
Wow, you made 2 months?
Can you see this girl in sales?
we have to put duct tape over her face. So
that's why it was only a 2 month stint,
that's
because the same thing. Like, it was all about numbers. They didn't care if you were calling people at home at 10 o'clock at night, and I was like, I can't do this. I'm not about that life. Yeah,
it's a fit for everybody, you know. And you know, I respect a lot of corporations because they do a lot of great things. Give back to the community and that kind of thing. But everyone is different. You got to find which one is yours, and relate. Really dive in. Relate to what's important to you, because everybody has a different why, and we talked about that today at Master Networks, right? So you got to know what your why is, whether it's family, whether it's achieving success at your job, feeling appreciated, just feeling like you bring value to the table, and you're not just getting up and you're driving into the office, you know, and just to do 9 to 5 and go home and be miserable. You got to find that love and passion for what you're doing, otherwise it'll never work. And really dig down and find that why. Totally.
I wonder if the millennials are less satisfied, or they feel less connected at work. Kind of piggybacking off what we talked about last week with the social media. Like, if you're on social media and you're seeing all these crazy jobs that people have and these vacations, and people are like, oh, I don't have that. It's just like, you're not going to want to, like, you're depressed, I'm assuming, and you're not going to want to go connect with people. So you're going to feel lonely and isolated.
Yeah, it's tough, especially when your family and friends maybe have bigger jobs, or they're a vice president of a company, a president, or they're in, like, I used to work in Manhattan, so I worked at big time, like, advertising agencies. So maybe you're on the better performing team, and they're taking you out to dinner, and they're whining and dining you. You're getting commission checks on the regular, and you're not on the good team.
Right.
You know, and your life isn't as good.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna kind of cater away from, you know, connecting with people.
Totally.
You know, and doing that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I see both sides, because even from the social media standpoint, right? I know, me personally, when I have a busy social media day, right? You too, we go home and we're shot, you know, sometimes. Yeah. And I feel bad. My wife yells at me, and I'm sure Mike says something. But,
Mike says something all the time, and I know you're watching, Mike.
So does Brianna. So, but I get it. I totally get it. So you do, like, you exemplify all this energy throughout the day. Me and you were like balls of fire. So you're going 150 miles an hour all day long, and you get home and you're just shot.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do against your partner or you know, your home life. It's just, you just need a break.
Yeah.
You know, you need to recharge and get going again. So you got to try to find that balance. It's tough, because I think we're both like 0 to 100 people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people out there are, you know, so it's very hard to sit in the middle.
Right.
You know, or sit at 40%. It's either boom, 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 or you don't do it at all.
Yeah.
You know, which is something to definitely seriously think about.
So my whole thing, the end of last year and the beginning of this year, that I tried to employ was to get off social media, like beyond posting and getting back to clients and stuff through all those platforms. Like for personal use, social media wise, I tried to limit that more and have more like personal interactions with actual people in real life, because otherwise, like, I could totally see the feeling isolated.
Yes. And I've been there before. I gotta be honest.
It sucks.
It's brutal. And when you're having, especially like you sales professionals, when you're having a rough week, it's 0 or 100. Literally, like, you feel like crap, and you bring that home with you. You're shot. You don't want to deal with anybody. You don't want to talk on the phone. You don't want to go out and do things. So it's you eat like crap. You're not working out.
Yeah.
So it's I've been in that. You know, I've been there. I think we all have. You know, in our crappy weeks and months and years. If you're a sales professional, any kind of job, you know, if you're not producing at a high level and you expect a lot from yourself, you know, you're going to be down on yourself.
Right.
But for me personally, that's why I choose the group of people that I'm going to be around. So we go to Master Networks today. I get re-energized. You be around positive people. We talk about our negatives, and when we're going through something, we open up and we talk to each other. We talk to our spouses or significant others. You know, be around people that pick you up.
Right.
You know, that's important, and that's a big piece to the corporate side.
Totally.
As you can tell.
Oh yeah.
Because I've been in situations where when people see you down, they will step on you, and they will grind, and they will drag you across the road until you are out of a job.
And they won't even look back at your remains.
No doubt. And they literally will just pretend you never existed. You know, and that's something that I really look down upon. And I've been there and done it. And I'm sure you've seen that in your field. Oh yeah. And it's just not the good way of doing things. You know, after the Kobe Bryant thing and everything else in the news today, you know, life is precious. And we're not going to go into it in detail. I think there's been enough news about it and what he was about, but you're lucky to wake up every day, you know, and you take it and put it into play as best you can.
Yep, totally.
But anything else on like the lonely side, or, you know, why do you think many who are millennials are not entering the workforce? Why do you think they're not happy with their jobs or what they're bringing to the table or who they're working for? What are you seeing it from a physical therapy side or health and wellness or?
I just see in physical therapy, like, well, we'll talk about this in a second, but like people coming out of grad school as PTs are burnt out. Like I burnt out 4 years in.
Yeah.
And people are just, I don't know if they're afraid of, because student loans are insane right now. People are afraid of making their payments, so they accept pretty much any job they can get, and they're so afraid of disrupting anything that goes against, whether it's morals, values.
Yes.
They'll be shit on before they open their mouths and say anything.
And you got 2 curses already, so you know, guys.
I didn't say one already.
The V word, but it counts as a curse word. Keep going.
This is going to be another topic. Vagina is not a curse word. It's a part of the female anatomy. This is going to be a topic, guys. So, what was I saying? Now that I was interrupted. Oh, so they just accept being treated in a subpar way because they're afraid of rocking the boat.
Higher ups, exactly. And
being fired. When in fact, if you approach things with tact and professionalism, Corporate might not like it, but you have to stand up for your value system. Otherwise, stuff like this happens, and then you have mental health issues that come into play, like we'll talk about soon, and just then the physical stuff comes along with it, and it's just, why are you going to live your life like that? I never understood that.
Yeah, and honestly, that got to me. I work for Fox Television and other ad agencies in Manhattan, and God, it was like 16, 18-hour days, during the super busy seasons. And I would just come home and just feel like isolated. And like, you come home on Friday night, like 7, 8 o'clock, and I was dreading Monday morning.
Yeah.
Like, it just went like this, like super quick. And you feel like you don't even have a life balance. Like, I just felt like I was at my desk all the time. And Saturday and Sunday, I was dreading Monday. And you just sit home and do nothing and sleep and get through that. So
that's the worst.
It is the worst.
Yeah, I've been there.
So I think we've all been through that, but it's important to keep yourself going. And if you're not happy somewhere, get up and find something, do some research, reach out to connections, build your network, so you never have to job search again. You can use your network and reach out and find something that you love and you're passionate about.
Right.
I think that's super important.
And I think also knowing your laws and like what is okay in the workforce and what is actually illegal, because a lot of companies are pulling illegal stuff, and people don't know any better, and they just and then those people. So in physical therapy, this happens a lot with billing insurance companies. Like, therapists will be pressured to bill a certain amount of units. They go by time spent with clients, and that's not always truthful in their billing. But it's brought on by higher corporate, who's telling them that they have to make these units, but the therapist feels pressured, so then they risk their license and insurance fraud and all this other stuff. So it's like, where do you draw the line? Like, you have to speak up.
Yeah. If
you want to complain that things aren't going well and that the PT field sucks and you're burnt out and you're frustrated, you got to speak up. You can't go along with these ethical and sometimes illegal things because you're part of the problem.
No doubt, and they're putting you in a bad situation. So I was always a big believer of that. Speak up, even if you get reprimanded, you got to do what's right,
Let me just say something. I worked in 4 clinics in the past 4 years for other people in traditional clinics, and I've got reprimanded at 3 of them on multiple occasions because I spoke up, and I haven't gotten fired from any of them. I got a raise at 2 of them, actually.
Yeah, you do. You get, in my opinion too, and I haven't been right all the time, but there's been times where they respect you more when you do step up to the higher ups and not scared to bring your values and opinions to the table. And if something's not right, speak up.
Exactly.
And
don't
honestly,
be a doormat.
No doubt. And if it does go south and you get let go, guess what? Just because your integrity, you're going to get picked up by somebody else. And I've had that happen many times because they know you were right and you're just in a bad situation.
Right.
And it happens.
Right.
No matter how good of a human being you are, there's always going to be some gray areas. You got to make a choice. And sometimes the hard choice is not the easy choice. And take the integrity route, take the good route, and the goodness always comes back to you.
Yep, totally.
So.
Yeah. So my topic is stress and burnout, and I don't know if you guys know who Z-Dog MD is. Have you ever heard of him?
I do not.
He's awesome.
He real?
He's actually a physician on the West Coast.
This is Melissa's teddy bear, I think, at her house.
His name is Dr. Zubin Damania, and I probably butchered his name, but he's awesome. He's all over social media. He is a physician on the West Coast, and he talks about burnout in healthcare a lot. And I think not only in healthcare is this a problem, but it's a problem in employee situations across the board,
yes,
especially with corporate growing in our society and taking over pretty much. So there's a difference between stress and burnout. Stress leads to burnout, but burnout is an actual disorder from too much unregulated stress. So stress can actually be healthy and help you grow and help your business and help you as an employee, but too much stress is not sustainable and obviously leads to burnout eventually. Especially with work demands, family demands, and like we were saying, social media now, it's even more prevalent in today's society. And you need to know when you're actually heading towards burnout so you can kind of nip that in the bud before it happens. So some of the symptoms is stress is you put too much effort into things. So you're going on that stress high and you're all pumped, that's a sign of stress. But burnout is the actual opposite, where you don't want to have anything to do with that. You put no input into it, like you were saying before about not wanting to get out of bed. Your experience, emotions are flattening out, so you really don't care what's going on in any aspect of life. You could feel hopeless, depressed. You could have physical and emotional consequences. You stop taking care of yourself. It's just crazy. And all this is for burnout. Increased risk of death is the biggest one.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then one of the big things that we have to remember is that we have to pay attention to our mental health. And a lot of people are afraid to ask for help when it comes to emotions or feeling this way, because it's still a nuance in our society that mental health is like this sign that you're a failure, when in fact it's not. Like taking care of your mental health is probably one of the best things you can do, especially asking for help.
Put your hand up if you've been to a therapist before. I've been there.
Have you?
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you have to. It's vital.
A lot of times you can't do it on your own.
You cannot do it on your own. There's no doubt about it. Especially today, with so many things going on, family, career, social media, any other distraction you could think of.
Yeah, you're bombarded.
Whatever you're involved in, your other groups that you're involved in. It's mental health is so important.
Totally.
Fitness. Go get yourself a massage, right? So my wife and I did that recently, with a kid coming. But just you got to do things for you, and it's not selfish. It's you're taking care of yourself so you can take care of other people.
Exactly.
And that's super. You got to recharge the batteries every so often, and say no to work. Maybe in the evening or on a Friday, take off early and go clear your mind and go walk around nature at a park, or do whatever you got to do. Everybody has something different that they like to do.
Exactly.
Go hiking, or my boss goes hiking early in the morning. So whatever it is, I like going to the gym early in the morning, playing baseball on Sunday. Whatever you need to get your stress out, it's super important.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that, stress is good. It can be good too.
The appropriate amount.
It is appropriate. As long as you manage it well.
Right.
Me being an athlete personally and coaching, I love the stress. I eat the stress. It's makes me perform better. And everybody's different. Some people don't like the high stress.
Yeah.
But in high stress situations, it makes you really show what you're made of. Depending on what career you're in and what hobbies you're into.
The only thing with the high stress too is that you can't be at that high for such a long period of time, because then cortisol kicks in, which is a hormone, and then that just disrupts your whole system, your nervous system and everything. So you want to be able to come back down from that high, you know what I mean? So regulate it. So sleep is really important that people disregard. Nutrition, and I don't mean going on a crazy diet, because that could actually stress your system even more. And workout programs, like you were saying, the hiking stuff is awesome.
Yeah.
But if you're jumping into this hardcore new routine, that's going to stress you out even more, and it's doing the opposite of what you're trying to combat. So you have to be smart with what you pick as stress reduction. Another thing too is, just like you can't be afraid to ask for help from a therapist, don't be afraid to ask for help from your boss or your coworkers, and just set boundaries. You can't do everything.
Yeah.
I used to work in a marketing job, and I was working during that big housing crash in 2007, and my job, which was supposed to be one person, became the job that one person did for 4 people, and I got a $30,000 pay cut. So I was like, this ain't happening.
Yeah.
Dr. Mel doesn't put up with that. She wasn't Dr. Mel at the time.
That's right.
She was a little mini Dr. Mel.
That's right. She was in transformation.
Yeah, you can't. You got to put boundaries in place.
Yeah, I was in the city working for an advertising agency, and I remember the one day I came in, and it was 2 weeks in a row. 2 of our sales assistants left, so I was doing all 4 account executives, and I had at least 200 folders on my desk, and I just lost it. I was just I'm not doing this anymore. Literally. It's just too much.
You said that to yourself, or you said that
to myself? To myself,
okay.
But then I ended up having a meeting with my team, and I was going home miserable every day, and I just started getting out of it, and I knew it wasn't me. What you're about and what you can handle, and it was just the stress and the overload was just too much. So I went up to my boss, and we got extra help, and we put a system in place, because it was just too much for one person to handle.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay to admit that. You know, if you don't admit it, that's when things get worse.
Exactly.
And you may lose your job, you may get in a big fight with your boss, or whatever the situation may arise.
Or you might have a heart attack at 25.
Exactly. You know, I 4 years ago, I ended up in the hospital, too much stress.
Really?
Burnout, and it was
What
a little
happened?
stomach situation.
Okay.
But just from being in the hospital for 2 or 3 days, I was like, wow, I really need to worry about my health. You know, that really got me in a mindset of, all right, I can't work 24 hours a day every day. You know, you can't be in that mindset all the time. You gotta find room for fitness. You gotta try to eat as best as you can. You're not gonna be perfect, but just try to cut out some areas. Stay active. Whatever's gonna keep you going. You
Do
know?
what you love.
Yeah,
too.
you know, do what you love. Find something that you gravitate to. You know, which is important.
And then, like we were saying before, and I can't stress this enough, if you need like professional help, seek it. There's so many resources now, especially virtual visits are getting really popular. They're starting in physical therapy, but mental health field, they're really, really popular. So you could just schedule a visit in the comfort of your own home, where you're laying on your own couch in your own environment, which reduces the stress, and then you get to talk to somebody who could further help you reduce the stress. So I think it's awesome. So those resources are always available. And then if you're an employer, just be aware that this is going on. Have systems in place for your employees, just like as an added benefit. I think that so many people would appreciate that employers offer that for them if they have like some kind of program going on, and like an anonymous program where employees can come and talk to somebody professional who can come on staff and just consult with them.
Yeah, I've been in jobs before where they offered those services, and I think it's a great thing. You know, it's harder for the small business owner because there's an added cost to it.
Right.
But you know, when you're working for a larger company, take advantage.
Yeah,
You know,
well, even if you can't afford it, just you can have a list of people to refer to. My old job had that. They had like a bunch of resources. They were awesome.
And then, like you said, the mental side now, you know, you got to find a way to release stress and to avoid that burnout.
Right.
Because it's a different world today, you know. Everybody's turned on. We're expected to be on 24 hours a day, you know, 7 days a week. It could be tough. So you got to make sure you're getting your rest. You know, take a nap, or you know, don't get burnt out. Just put the computer away.
Yeah.
You know, go do something you love for an hour. You know, recharge yourself and come back to it.
Right.
You know, put it off. If it's 8 o'clock at night, put away the computer. Do it first thing wake up early. Do it first thing in the morning when your mind's regenerated. You know, so it's like little things like that I've learned over my 9 years of career to be able to balance a little bit more. I'm still learning the time management thing. It is tough. It is a challenge, and I'm wearing 3 hats now here: sales, marketing, and operations. I told you today. So it's a hard thing for me. You know, I'm learning. Usually just individual sales, so I just have one bucket to go after. Now I'm covering 3, so trying to split my time evenly to make sure all 3 buckets are full and everybody's getting the attention that they need and the company's running effectively.
You have a great company though, because the people in charge are really supportive of all of you guys, from what I've seen so far.
Without a doubt.
As employees, and that's really awesome. Like, you have a great support core.
I've never, and just because it's not out of my showroom and Mike's not even watching, but to be able to go to your boss when you feel overwhelmed, and I've done that 2 or 3 times already, and we've sat first thing in the morning and had a conversation, come up with a solution, and we move forward. And I don't have any, I'm not like, usually when I work for corporations, my heart would be pounding.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh my God, they're gonna think I can't do my job, or try to find and replace me. You know, the bull crap that you have to deal with in corporate, you know, and just being real with somebody and authentic, and they know what you're going through. They bring you in as family. So I'm very lucky to be under Mike and Dominica. So
yeah, they're awesome.
And you're your own boss now. So
yay! I mean, I must.
So what do you do when you have an issue? I mean.
Oh my God, Caitlin! Hi, Caitlin.
She's tuning in.
I have to call people and just like vent. That's how I get my stress out. And sometimes like I'm from the Bronx, so I exaggerate everything.
I'm from Yonkers.
Yeah. But like everything to me is like do or die time.
Yeah.
And I feel like I catastrophize a lot of things that don't need to be that dramatic.
Yeah.
And I need sometimes somebody to talk me out of it and be like, Melissa, you're being an idiot. Stop it.
Yeah.
So talking to people who have been there and who are there really helps.
Yeah, talk to, we talked about the master networks tonight, but talk to people that are fans of you, right? So pump some positive juice in you, if you're feeling negative and stuff like that. I always do that. Or I'll stop and see somebody that, is a friend or, colleague or, somebody I enjoy dealing with. And I'll just pop by their office maybe before going out sales prospecting or, meet with the master network person, before I'm hitting the road with my sales rep, just to get in the right mindset. And then your day just turns around, and maybe you get back in that positive mindset and then a big sale comes in or you get a new client, with physical therapy or, it's just staying positive and, keep grinding away, but, have an appreciation for what you're doing.
And I think having people that have been in your arena, I'm stealing from Brene Brown because I'm her new fangirl of the year.
Okay, all right.
I can't stop watching stuff by her. But like having people who are in the same arena as you, who know what it's like to do this stuff, that's really, really important because somebody could be like, oh, it's going to be fine. You always come out of it okay, blah, blah. But that doesn't help if they haven't done things that you're doing and gone through the same things that you're going through.
Yeah. Yesterday, the day before, came across another vice president of a remodeling company, and he just started like that day. And we hit it off because we both had the same type of roles, and I know we could lean on each other eventually, to give information and, see what he's doing, see what I'm doing, and, always trying to be coachable and learn different successful tactics, and so just because they may be your competition or they may be in another industry, don't be scared to talk to them.
No.
Because there's only a certain amount of people out there, and if they have your same job title and same responsibilities, you're kind of stupid for not asking them, hey, what are you doing to be successful?
Yeah.
And if you're not going to share, you're limiting yourself.
And that's where that whole scarcity mindset comes in. Like you could offer the same exact service, but you're different people, and people buy from people. Friday, I have a meeting with Don from Iron City and my friend Rob, who is a physical therapist on Long Island, and all of us do the same thing. We're all physical therapists, but we all treat a totally different clientele. And we all will refer to each other, and we'll all give each other tips, and we'll all talk each other off the ledge. And it's just like you need that kind of community, and you just need to keep fostering it.
Yes.
Because it's so important.
Yeah, and positive energy, collaboration, man. I can't say that word enough. In 2020, grab a bunch of strategic people, dynamic business professionals. Right? How many networking groups are we doing? A ton.
Oh my God.
And it's they keep adding on, but if you manage them out correctly with your time, you're getting value out of a group of people instead of targeting maybe one person.
Right.
So
as long as they're a good fit for your values and your business, because a lot of people too will do the whole like I need to grind 24/7, and that's just not the case. That's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Once you get successful in your business, you're not going to be able to uphold that. So then you're really going to lead to burnout. So the whole hard grind is just not a thing.
Agreed.
Grind smart, not hard.
Oh, that's definitely a new quote. I haven't heard that one out on the street, but we'll add that for sure. But yeah, stress and burnout and just feeling lonely, I think is the other big one. So
have you ever reached a burnout point? Like the hospitalization, would you say that was a burnout
yes,
point?
It was. It was like a week. It was definitely a sign from the higher power, hey, you need to slow down.
Did you go back to the same job?
I did, but with different mindset.
Okay.
How
long were you
much different mindset.
After?
6 months maybe.
Okay. Oh, you lasted pretty long.
Yeah. But I slowed down, and I just was just smarter, got back to my passions of coaching and being around kids and doing that kind of thing, like on my off time, and being around family more, and it helps, it's you gotta take those signs and run with them. Yeah. And use it as a learning, that why isn't gonna change unless something drastic happens, like Stephanie was saying tonight.
Right.
With the smoking and an accident, there's only certain things that are going to make you wake up and change. We're habits of people, so we're going to continue to do what we do until something gets in our way and says, no, you can't do it this way.
Right.
Or else you deal with these consequences. So that's really my big thing is when you see that roadblock, get around it, but get around it wisely and gain some real life knowledge. You know?
Yeah, totally.
So, pretty good.
Agree.
Anything else on stress, burnout?
I don't think so.
Anybody have anything out there for us? Since we got our first evening show tonight.
What's your experience with stress and burnout? Have you been through it? Are you going through it now? And what are some tactics that you use to combat it?
I actually have a stress ball on my desk too that I use, that I got for Christmas, which is it's a baseball, but it's a stress ball.
I love stress balls.
So do I. So a stress ball is a great way to definitely lose some stress, get out your anger. We use the basketball hoop here.
Yeah.
So we shoot some baskets, we create some fun. So just create other little things to keep yourself busy and change your mind. Go walk around the parking lot.
Yeah, that helps actually.
Get some fresh air.
Yeah, the air and just being out in the sun.
Walk around, get outside. Those are some good ones. Go to a gym during your lunch period. You know, little things like that, just
read.
to get your body moving. Read.
Journal. I've been journaling a lot.
I keep hearing about that.
Yeah. I just started that.
What do you journal about?
Stress.
Okay. How often do you curse in that journal?
Oh my God, Stephen. This is tame for me. I'm trying to be on good behavior.
We're trying to get picked up by NBC News, so we had to calm her down a little bit.
That's never gonna happen. But vagina, can we talk about vaginas for a second, please? This is like the 5th time I said vagina tonight.
Yeah, she's on a roll today.
And why is vagina considered a curse word?
It's, I think it would be considered under the politics, religion kind of world.
How?
I don't know.
It's a body part.
It is.
So I have something to say on the soapbox about vaginas for a quick second.
There we go.
So because and I posted about this, and you might have seen this lovely post. It had a beautiful flower on it.
Yeah.
Because we're so conditioned to be afraid of saying that word, women are afraid to talk about it, and they don't realize that there's stuff going on there that shouldn't be going on.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I help women overcome that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't even know that there's muscles and everything, and that's literally part of your core.
Yeah.
And we need to be more comfortable with our bodies and who we are. And I'm not saying go whip it out in front of people, but just be comfortable with what it looks like, what the word is, what your options are, and what's normal versus common. And it's so crazy, and it drives me insane that women are being told to settle for less. And yes, this is my lone soapbox, but they're being taught to settle for less for problems that are so easily avoided and prevented.
I was in a 6-hour birthing class.
Oh yeah, so
I saw things I've never seen before.
Did you see a model?
I did not see a model.
Like a plastic one, I mean.
Oh no, these are live births.
Oh, you saw a live one?
Yeah, they showed us 3 different ones. So
oh man.
That was you could ask my wife. That was very interesting. So I walked out of there with a lot of information and a lot of visual images. I'm still trying to overcome. So,
really? Well, you better get going because
but on the other
date is coming soon.
On the other spectrum, it was amazing. So there is something to be said about it. But yeah, and women go through it, men go through certain things. I think just reach out to somebody that you trust and get some information.
Men have a pelvic floor too, by the way.
Yes, we do. So yes, we do. We'll find out what that is eventually.
Yes, I'm gonna put my plastic model right back here.
Yeah, geez, that's all we need. Unbelievable. Is that a comment there? What do we got?
Bree said he should be used to hearing vagina with everything we're going through. Exactly, Bree. Come on, can you school this man, please?
Oh, man. Crazy.
Steven's going to say vagina on every show from now on.
Yeah, she's going to get me to say it. We'll see.
I don't think anybody's commented besides the vagina talk.
Okay.
Oh, Bree also said, someone special must have gotten you the stress ball.
That's a shout out to my wife. I'll give her credit.
Yeah, so if you guys have any input on stress and burnout and what your experiences are, we'd love to hear from you and how you combat it. I want to kind of make a list as a resource for everybody that we can put up on the Facebook page for free.
Yep.
Just because it's so prevalent, and this way you have a bulletproof way to go through and combat your own stress, because it's a huge problem. And again, your quality of life is the most important thing to you. So we want to give that resource to you. Also, let us know how this time works and if you prefer another one, or we just want to get as many people on live as we can because the interaction is better.
Yep.
So we're open books pretty much.
Yes, we are. Yeah, we'll keep Wednesday nights, as we speak, and we'll go from there. But how does the stress and burnout play into physical therapy?
Oh my God!
You could tell when somebody, kind of
like
is
for
going through that.
Therapists themselves or for patients?
Either, I guess, both sides. When a patient comes to you, do you know if they're going through stress and burnout?
I can pick up on it.
Right,
Tenseness
in the body.
My first question, I don't put my hands on any of my clients until I sit down with them, and this is every single visit. If I sit down with them and we talk first. So I actually had recently a client that I could tell something was just not right on her face, and she was looking all over the place. I'm like, oh, so how are your exercises going? She's like, I haven't done any of them, and I only see people once a week, so that was a whole week she hadn't done anything, and I couldn't progress something that she hadn't practiced. So we sat down and we just talked for an hour. I didn't bill her, and I decided she needed to get in the right frame of mind before we continued with therapy.
Yeah.
So I check in with her regularly and see when she's coming back, because if you want to change something physically that's going on, your whole mind and body and everything have to be in that.
Yeah.
If you're combating stuff that's beyond your control, you're not going to focus on that.
Yeah.
So that's big to me. I do a holistic approach. I want to make sure everything's in sync with you before I'm pushing you to do something that you're not ready for yet.
Yeah. Yeah, even from an athlete standpoint, right? So I see 9-year-old kids that play 120 games a year, travel ball, and they don't stop all year round. Mm-hmm. And they come to me in a lesson, and I can just tell mentally they're just shot. They just never got a break. Mm-hmm. So I literally tell my clients, shut down for 2 months. October, November, December is shut down.
Right.
So shut yourself down. Don't pick up a baseball. Relax, chill out, and go do something else. I don't care.
Because especially for your kids, if they push through that, that's where injuries occur.
Exactly. I see it all the time.
Yeah.
And their coaches don't care at the little league level, at the high school level. They just want the best out of them for that specific time point where they are. So they want to get as many wins as they can in little league. They don't care about the kid 5 years down the line when he has arm surgery and he can never pick up a baseball again. Mm-hmm. After Tommy John 2 or 3 times.
Right.
So
which is insane.
That. It's insane. They're too young, and the kids are focusing on one sport at such an early age. And when I grew up, I played basketball, I played football, played baseball, and that's what made me a decent athlete, because you're constantly changing your mindset, and you're using different muscles in your body to get to be more athletic.
Yep.
And stretching and doing little things like that. I'm still able to play today. I'm lucky, but it's I don't like to see that from a kid that's 8 or 7 years old that's playing baseball, 12 months out of the year.
I was just saying, now they don't even, it's not like a season, it's the entire year.
It's not, it's a whole year.
That's insane to me.
And the kids don't get to have as much fun as they used to. Mm-hmm. It's all high pressure, travel ball. Parents are paying a lot of money. So, hey, Johnny, you better play well this game or else, you're grounded, because they're putting a high investment in.
Right.
So it's not about the kid anymore, what I mean? So, that's not every situation, but that's more and more what we're seeing, and that's why the private coaching world is it's a $9 billion business, an industry, because the parents are just picking one sport and throwing the best coach they could find, spending thousands of dollars, and, the poor kid is burnt out, 1, and 2, they may never, by the time they get to high school, they may never play again.
Exactly.
Whether they get hurt or not.
Or they're just tired of it.
They're just burnt out and they get sick. I've seen that happen many times. The kids get to a point that they don't want to pick up a glove anymore.
Yep, I've seen that too.
Or a bat. So, let your kid go where his passions are, and, none of us are parents yet, so we can't give too much info.
You will be soon.
We'll be soon, but
6 weeks.
That's right. It's coming. So we'll see. But yeah, just the burnout, the stress from an athlete level, a youth level, just be aware of your child and make sure they're being treated correctly. Bring them to the right physical therapist. Make sure they're working with the right coaches that are teaching the right things. And, let them be kids too. I think that's important.
And be honest about what's going on. I had a softball player once, and her arm was so lax, she was a pitcher, and her mom yelled at me over the phone because I told her not to go to practice because she was throwing through pain, and I said, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And I told her she needed to go see the doctor for an MRI, and she had a labral tear, and she needed surgery. But the mom was so pissed just because I said to not go to practice.
Yeah.
But I mean, the mother also didn't want to pick up the phone, so
Yeah.
whatever.
No, you got to do what's right. That's, like we said, the most important.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's it, right?
That's
We're
it.
good. So that was
Close it
episode
out.
4. Episode 5 next Wednesday. We'll say 7:45. We'll play it safe.
Yeah.
7:45 kickoff. So we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to our sponsors. We're going to put up a post about them this week.
Oh yeah.
So-
We have a very fancy wall over here.
Yeah, we got a fancy sponsorship wall. We got them all framed up and everything. So we got 6 sponsors now.
Yeah.
So as we grow and our show gets bigger, we're going to do some paid sponsorships and raise some money for the community and pick different causes that we're going to target and go after. So just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thanks for listening to us crazy people. And hopefully you got some value out of it. And send us your best burnout or stress story to our email or private message us on Facebook. And we could share it next week.
And
maybe.
tips on how you overcame it.
Yes, and tips of what you did so we could share it on the show for everybody. And we'll throw some tips out throughout the week of what we do to deal with stress and burnout and real life situation. So thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Get some rest. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.